Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You may wonder why I'm sitting here in the corner facing the wall with this silly looking hat on. Well, the reason is that in my day, when you did something stupid, this was your punishment. It's called a dunce cap. And, well, when I was trying to split the cases on the DT175 engine, I didn't do something smart. I did something stupid. So that's the reason. I'll see you in a bit when I fix this problem. Well, you saw my little lead in there. You're probably wondering what I did wrong. Well, I've been trying to split this case, and so I looked at this, and this didn't look like it was part of it. It was part of this side of the case. Well, true, but there's another part of it under there that I need to look at, and I should know this because you have to do this on all these when you pull the engine apart. The clutch shaft, or the shift shaft, comes through, and you need to, there's a circlip on the shaft, and you have to take it off. Well, this one's got a different setup. This shift shaft here is only part of this gear assembly, but the actual shift shaft that goes over to the other side is underneath this plate with these 4 screws that I didn't think I needed to take out, which I found out later by reading the book, by the way, that that needs to come off in order to get these cases to separate. So I hope I didn't hurt anything in the meantime trying to get this apart. I guess we'll find out. I decided I'm going to try and rebuild this thing. I'm not sure about the piston. After I clean it up, I'll find out. But I ordered a bottom end kit, which has all the seals, and it has 2 new bearings and all the gaskets I'll need. And it was a one-time thing. It's aftermarket, but I'm not going to spend a lot of money putting this back together just to find out it won't work. So that's where I stand right now. I'm going to take this plate off, those 4 screws. I'm going to get that circlip off of that shift shaft. I'm going to go over to the other side and pull the shaft off out, and then I'll come back to this side and work a little harder on getting this case split into 2. So I'll be back. Right here you'll see the little circlip that holds that shaft in place. And that shaft goes all the way through over to the other side to affect the change on the shift cam. So we need to get a little different tool to get that out of there. Let's see what we got here. Well, most of my tools are up in the other building, but I got a few here. Let's see if we can get this one in. Seems to be working. There it is. Let me make sure I get that and don't lose it. It's probably a special size. We'll put that right there, right in this magnetic holder. Then we should be able to go to the other side and pull that shaft through. So we'll see on the other side. All right, so here's the other side. Due to all my hammering and pounding and trying to get that cases apart before, looks like I might have bent this pawl that rides up here and does the shifting. We'll be able to straighten that out, I think. And this is the other end of that shaft right here. So since you're supposed to take this screw out and then take all these there's little pins behind each one of these. I don't know if you can see them or not. Those represent the different gears. And then this either hooks them and pulls them or hooks them and pushes them. So we should be able to, with a little bit of luck, pull this right through. If I can find a place to get some leverage on it, I'm gonna have to set you down. All right, so I gave it a few love taps from the other side and she pulled right out. Now this little spring goes in there. You can see that it was spread apart and put over this pin. That provides tension. It rides on this area down here that's extended a bit and provides tension on that. So we now should have a clear shot at splitting the cases. I'm not sure. I think all these gears will stay with this side and should not have to come out. We'll see. I might have to take them out later. All right, back over to the other side. This piece is just kind of free floating on here. Rides on that. When you operate this, it turns this just a shade and moves that pawl on the other end and shifts the gears. This one does shift all right. This is just sitting on there. It's not fastened in any way. All right, well, there is this piece that rides in there. I think maybe right here. Yeah, looks like it. All right, I think that's a seal of some kind. So we'll keep track of all that. And there's a washer behind it. And this. So we got all those parts there together. And I believe that's a rubber seal in there. So we'll need to replace that. Need to replace that seal. And of course this seal. And then other seals on the other side. I don't know if this comes out. This should attach. No, that's the clutch. No, that comes out. It's just held in by suction on there. And behind it, there's this very thin little washer, which we're going to try and get out of there. But we're not having much luck. There it is. All right, we'll put that there to keep track of where it's supposed to be. All right, well, I finally got it almost split. When it came apart, this was in here. You can see that. And I don't know where this came from. So I'll have to be careful not to lose it. You'll notice that there's still some screws going through. These are the ones that I had to drill a head off of. I should be able to get those out pretty easy right now. And we'll finish taking it apart. We'll leave the transmission with this side, and we'll take a look at that crank. We'll pull it out with the piston and see what we got. Well, there it is. That's the reason it was bound up. Water in the crankcase. I don't know if I got anything to get those bearings off of there or not. I'm thinking maybe. Got the rest of the parts on order. All the seals and these bearings. I may just look for a crank on eBay if I can get one cheap enough. And other than that, I'm going to have to try and clean these up. It's really a mess, so. Or maybe I do have another bottom end. Maybe I should take it apart and see what condition its crank's in. It has been undercover. Transmission in this one seems to be good. I'll go ahead and take these out, the ones that I drilled out, and I may take a look at that other engine and see. But I think that's about all I've got for today. I did get it apart. That crank is just terribly messed up. So, should turn pretty smooth on the other one, I think. No, it's still locked up. I guess I'll just take this crank right out of here. Folks, I'm going to call it quits on this guy for today. Please like and subscribe and hit the little bell to be notified when we do some more. I'm thinking I'm probably going to look for another crank if the one in my other engine is no good, and try to bring this thing back to life. Who knows? Gives me something to do.